Hello, welcome to the Voice of Houston right here at UHN-TV. Roku is where you can find us. We are thankful to God for today. We are in
Bless.
a blessed position. Thank you, Bobby. It is a blessed day. It's just blessed to be here. I, uh, you know, I went through quite a bit of sickness in December, and He has brought me out of that, almost out of that illness that I had. And I decided that I was going to start doing more toward eating right.
Amen.
Eating
Well, you are
eating the
what
right things, you know.
you are what you eat.
Yes, and I thought about I love beets. A lot of people don't care too much for beets, but I like beets, and I had forgotten about the beets and the spinach
The broccoli,
and the broccoli. But I'm
the
not too cool on
cauliflower.
broccoli. But
Broccoli is very good for you.
yeah, it is. I know it is, but unless it's made in put in a soup, like I don't like to eat it. I'm like children. I don't like to eat it
Broccoli,
raw
you
by
like
itself.
that broccoli cheddar soup, huh?
Yeah, I like the soup, but I don't care too much for eating broccoli raw nor asparagus that way. But a lot of people.
I had asparagus yesterday.
You did.
I had asparagus and I had some eggplant parmesan.
You do that on your own?
No, I fixed the asparagus.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But the eggplant parmesan I got from Costco.
But I brought that up because I think our audience need to get more involved in eating the right kind of food.
Eat to live rather than
To
living
live
to
to eat. Yes,
Yeah.
we need to eat to live, and
Stay out of these fast food places.
yeah, plants seem to be the best thing to eat. Of course, I like beef as well, but I care a lot about beef. I can eat it any kind of way. Chicken, I'm tired of, but it's a good way of keeping.
But chicken breast is very good for you because it's a way for you to get protein.
Oh, really?
Yeah, chicken breast.
Well, I'm a
So that's all I eat
I'm a
about the
wing
chicken.
person. I don't care too much. Breast
yeah,
too dry to me. It's
no,
too dry.
that's all I eat on the chicken. Is the chicken breast.
It's the breast.
Yeah.
Well, I
A lot
like
of
the
times,
wings.
we do
Our own
chicken, boneless chicken breast with
Yeah.
cream of chicken soup or cream of mushroom
You
soup.
just what you do buy the
Put-
Campbell's. Oh, well,
Camels. and
Campbell's
put
is
onions
what I
and
grew up
peppers in
on.
it, and
Yeah, I grew
Then
up
have
on
some
Campbell's.
wild rice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
have some broccoli or asparagus.
Yeah, and eating correctly could help you fight off the virus as well
Oh, yeah.
that has taken.
Because you're getting the nutrients that you
Yeah, we put up. Yeah, we do, and that's where I wanted our audience to be conscious of is eating the right kinds of things, and don't put too much of your faith in the medicine that you are taking because it has so many side effects in that medicine that we're taking. So if we're taking the medicine, also change your diet so that your body can get strong and stronger, and you won't have to be worried about that. Am I going to get the virus? Am I going to get that? But the most important part is that I wanted to bring up about that virus is that we
take the shot.
yeah,
That's
take
the
the
most
shot.
important. Take the
all,
shot.
All you young folks, take the shot because it's you are giving play
To the devil.
To the devil, that's right. To Satan, you're giving play to Satan, and God doesn't do the things that you think He does. When He does it, man, it has a lot more. What you call it? Hardship in it when God does it. Like when He destroyed the first part of the world, He destroyed it. He didn't play with it. So I do believe that Satan is behind this. He's playing our consciousness, the propaganda that's going out that this thing is going to cause you from not having children and from one thing to the next. It's gonna cause you to get sick, and you're gonna die anyway. All of those things, and it's so
Well,
many
there's one
things that
thing
they're
we
saying.
do. One thing we do know. How many people do you know who actually died from taking
The shot,
the shot?
not a soul that I know of.
I don't know anyone, but I do know a number of people who are dead because they didn't take the shot and they got COVID and they're no longer with us. And some of them are very, very dear friends that I work with at Texas Southern University.
What bothers me though is that it's beginning to work on our children, our babies. The babies, 2 years old.
5 years.
You need to take your shot, because you don't want to lose your child, and it hasn't even. You brought him here, and you love it so well. Then you're going to say, "I'm not going to take the shot," and you involve your child in that environment,
and they're not eligible to take the
and
shot.
they're not even eligible to take the shot. Like that baby,
2 years.
2 years old. It was another one 2 years old. It's more than what they're saying that's passing because of their age and because of the lack of not being able to be vaccinated. And then you're not wanting to be vaccinated, and you're around all these people and all these other places and things going on, partying.
Well,
Recreating.
you see, the sad thing about it.
And then you go back home, and it's not bothering you, but it hits your child.
The sad thing about it is we have experienced a replication of this virus 9 times.
And it gets stronger each time.
And each time it gets stronger. So this Delta virus is the 9th time
And it's
this
stronger.
virus has replicated itself, because it is the devil.
Yes, it is.
You try to kill it,
You're not.
it finds another way
of coming back in.
of coming back and coming back stronger.
Each time.
And you know as well as I do, people with common sense know the United States government and all of these different governments around the world, these people are not going to concoct up
That's true.
something
Right.
that they know is going to kill
Yes, Lord.
citizens in their countries, whether they are in Spain or England or
It's
Germany
all
or
over
what
the
have
world.
you. And unfortunately, people in the continent of Africa, only about 2% of those people have been able to get the shots because of the inability of their countries
Reaching them.
to really provide the resources necessary, because those countries are poor.
Right.
And they don't have the resources. That's why, the United States is donating so many millions of doses of virus to the world, and especially to the continent of Africa. So take the shot in order to protect
Take the shot in the United States,
yourself.
because we acting like we're third world countries.
Yeah.
All
With
this,
no-
all this,
no- with
all
no
this death going
understanding.
around.
Yeah.
And then when it start hitting your young people, who is the future of this country,
Yeah.
and then you're killing your future
Yeah.
if you're not helping to stop it. What I don't understand, though, Bobby, is how the government can put flu shots in the doctor's office, and the doctor insists that you take a flu shot in order that you will not die from the flu. It's my question is why wouldn't you not put the same idea about flu with COVID? And it's, you have to make an appointment. You have to do this. You have to do that. If you're going to, why not when you make an appointment with the doctor says, I have a shot for you, and I need for you to take it.
Well, you can basically go to
But
CVS
you got to make all these phone calls.
and Well, you can walk in to CVS and Walgreens and so forth and get in, you
Well,
might
that's the
have a little
Johnson,
small
that's the-
line.
well,
Because
yeah.
the other day, Sunday, 2 Sundays ago after church, I just went and got my flu shot. I just went right on to CVS.
Yeah, but I'm
'Cause,
talking
they
about
told me-
I'm talking about the COVID shot. You still have to make appointments. You still
No,
have
you
to
can,
do.
you can go
Why
to
can't you
CVS.
just walk in?
You can go there and, you might have to stand in line for a little while, but you can go there and just get the shots.
Well, that's a good thing if you can
Yeah,
just go there and get the shot. Now it's a booster shot to this Johnson and Johnson shot. The Johnson has only one
The
shot, but
Pfizer.
now they have a booster. I believe that.
Well, the
that they can-
Pfizer is the one that they
Pfizer
they
has the
look-
two that
yeah.
you can get,
But they
that's
have
the,
approved the
it- but it's-
booster now.
Yeah, but it's
Pfizer,
not
yeah.
at CVS and it's not at Walgreens. I think you should get 2 shots, both of them.
Well, the science is basically there for whichever shot you take, whether it's Moderna, which is 2,
Now
or
that-
Johnson and Johnson, which is 1.
But Johnson
And-
is coming up with another
But
one.
now
Yeah.
they potentially will come up with a second shot.
Yes.
But the thing about it is, all we want to do is encourage people to listen to the doctors, listen to the scientific community,
Yeah.
and not listen to the social media throwed off group of folk out here talking all this
All
crazy
that craziness. They talk so
noise
much craziness.
about us putting a chip in you to monitor
all that
you and all
crazy
that
now.
kind of old craziness. So for leave that stuff alone. Protect your
Yeah, and
health.
stop looking at all this
Yeah, because your health is wealth.
YouTube,
Yeah,
and,
right.
telling you about this and that. And when you research it, it's nothing but a bunch of bullcomb
Right.
behind the research of it. And why that person lied and said what they did and all this and what happened. You find it out for yourself. Don't take their word for it, and you end up dying when you don't have it, when it's not your time. It was his time. Not necessarily so. It's
No.
not always his time or her time to go. And nobody knows that but the Lord. And
They
however
made
we
it, they
can
made
make
it their time.
however we can make our time a little short, So
Right.
don't be thinking about, well, this is my time to go. It's gonna be my time to go. But in the turn of that, you are involving other people's times to go, and they're not ready to go.
I had a friend that caught COVID going to the dog track, watching some dogs play.
Right.
No, it's not funny.
No, I can
not
understand,
funny,
yeah, but
Because he dead.
Yeah,
You
oh,
know.
he's dead.
Yeah, he caught COVID and he died.
my goodness, my
7
goodness.
days,
Lord,
going
it's
out
7
to
days.
the dog track out there.
Yeah, I knew it going
the
toward
way-
Galveston, because I
Yeah.
used to go there too.
The dog track?
To the dog. Lord, I used to love to go to the dog tracks.
Oh Lord, I ain't
Nah,
never
yeah,
thought
that
about.
was.
I ain't never thought about going and watching no
The
dog
dog.
race. I ain't even going to watch no horses race. let
Really?
alone a dog race.
I like the dogs. Of course, I like horse racing too. But I enjoy
I watch
going
horse
and
racing on
see them
TV
little
now.
dogs run around that track after that little rabbit.
Right.
And you try to figure out who gonna beat the other one.
Well,
That's a
my
good one right
thing
there.
is-
He's long and tall and all that other stuff. And
My thing is, I got a sure shot with God, so I
Oh,
ain't
you
gonna gamble.
I guess that's the best way to go. Is
Yeah,
not to
so I'm
gamble.
going with the sure shot.
Yeah, that's a sure shot.
Yeah.
It's just to give your tithes and give your offering, and God will do the rest.
Yeah.
That's my sure shot. I know.
Yeah, right.
But I still enjoyed going to the
To the
horse
dog
to the
track.
to the dog races. I like horse racing too, but I'm not engaged as I used to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not as engaged as I
You
used
reformed.
to be. To it.
You've been
Yeah.
redeemed by the blood.
Yeah, when I was younger, that's all. I loved it.
Yeah.
And me and my friends, we'll go and have a ball, trying to pick the dogs and fussing at each other. I told you to get that dog. And
Yeah, right. Oh, Lord.
fussing. Now see there, you done lost your money.
Yeah.
So I get back to the subject. I wanted to make sure that we understand that it's so important for us to help to protect each other.
Right.
instead of thinking so selfishly about yourselves. And I didn't
Protect your family.
protect your family instead of just interested in yourself, and then you're giving your children a false sense of security, especially the teenagers. They are getting a false sense of security when you say I'm not going to do it, and then you pass that on to your little sister or your brother, or you the oldest one in the family, and you telling everybody, all your siblings, that I'm not going to take the shot. That you are giving falsehood there, and they are believing in what you're saying instead of researching it for themselves. Even though they hold their phones in the front of them and they always on listening to other people and not really thinking critically about the whole situation. Whereas when we were growing up, we thought critically. Somebody told us something, we're going to make sure we understood what they were talking about. We just weren't going to take that word and go.
You researched on your own.
Critical thinking is not in our children's minds these days. It's not even in the adult minds these days. 40 years old and you don't know, you taking the word of somebody on the internet, or you taking the word of somebody that's on the Facebook or whatever else, and
Instagram,
they have so much knowledge
yeah.
than you have. and I think that is that's laziness. That's what it is. And you don't be lazy about making good decisions, making the right decisions.
So take somebody's word. Talk to your family doctor.
Yeah, I would think that every person should think about the other person and what I could cause that other person to have if I don't even have it. Because there's a lot of people walking around here with COVID and it's not bothering them at all. They just enjoying their life, and they carrying it, but they don't know they're carrying it. Because they won't go get tested.
Yeah, they're anti-symptomatic.
Yeah, they won't even go get tested. And instead of saying, I'm not taking a shot, well, then go get tested. If you are a carrier, then you're messing up somebody else's life. And your life is still good. You still enjoying everything. You still going out there partying. You still going out there laughing and joking and hugging and kissing and all that other, as if you had had at least one shot. You know? And then you're going to give it to someone else because you don't have the symptoms. Go get tested then. Do something. Just don't sit there because nothing has happened to you that you're okay, because you could be a carrier and don't have the right understanding about who you are and what you're all about. You're all about helping each other. That's what we're all about. And if we don't help one another and just think of our own selves being a selfish-minded person, we are in bad shape in this country. And more people gonna die every day, and it's too many people dying every day. It's not only the older ones, it's the younger ones. Now we got to worry, because it's the younger people dying. Our future, they are dying. And something needs to be done. And get back to this, I want to talk about that part where with our governor, how he fooled the people.
Well,
Don't wear no mask.
Well, he didn't fool the people because he ended up catching COVID. So if any fooling went on, he fooled himself.
Yes, he did.
Because he's the one that ended up.
In turn, though, look at the people
COVID.
that believed in him. That believed him that you didn't have to wear a mask. And that I'm not going to wear a mask because the governor said we didn't need to wear no mask, and I'm all right with that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well,
when you can't think for yourself.
You know, sometimes common sense is not common. And people neglect to think for themselves and to research and follow scientific knowledge and development rather than following political nonsense. Because we have a lot of political nonsense going on in Texas right now, in terms of a number of issues, we know what's going on at the border. You see all of those state trooper vehicles they have
Yeah.
positioned along the border to keep
Well, it got my heart though. This one got
people
my heart
from
when I saw that
coming
guy.
in.
It
Then
just
we have
got
all
me.
of the nonsense going on around voting rights and access to voting and participatory democracy.
What do you think that we ought to do as Americans for Haiti?
Well,
That black country. They have such. It's a beautiful land over there. Beautiful.
well,
and
they've
they are
had
all in such hardships.
they've had almost two devastating earthquakes in the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And this last
not
one,
counting the hurricanes.
yeah, this last one was just totally devastating. So you've had people who have left Haiti
Trying
and
to get to a better life. That's all they're
and
trying
they
to
were
do.
in other countries.
Yeah,
they were in other countries.
countries this way.
And now, situations for them in those other countries have dried up, and so they've all ended up, many of them, at the southern border of our country. And
How did you feel, not cutting you off, but I just want to ask you this question before you go any further. How do you feel about how that the camera, news camera, was picking up this guy on the horseback, and he was whipping the
with a
guys
whip,
and
yeah.
running after them and all of that craziness?
Well, that was very inhumane. And
Do
very-
you think it was just because they were black? That
Well-
that goes deep within me.
Well, I
just-
think that obviously a part of it is that, but the other part of it is just the inhumanity. Period. We know that when President Trump was president, a lot of inhumanity took place simply because he said it outright. He just said outright, look, if those people at the southern border were from Scandinavian countries, meaning if they were white, if they were from Switzerland or Sweden or Finland,
He was all
we
right.
wouldn't have any problems. We would let them come in. So we know that there is a racial dimension at play in this, because when you take a 3-year-old child away from its mother, and President Trump did this with the Hispanic people that were there when he was president and was doing all the different kinds of horrific things
I'm just
that
wondering.
he was doing.
I'm just wondering, would they have done that? I know they treated the Hispanics wrong, the Latinos wrong
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
came over here.
Oh yeah, they would have done the same kind of
but
thing
this
as
just
long
a-
as they if they were non-white,
That's the way they were going to do it.
they were going to be
But it just,
maltreated.
it just brought back to me
And the reason why,
the slavery thing.
let's
When I
face-
saw
let's
this
face
man on
facts.
this horse whipping
let's face facts.
at
We-
this guy, these guys running.
We know two things now: that America is becoming a majority country. That's factual in terms of census data.
Yeah,
That
we
the
know.
population increases now.
When they took that
or-
last census, that census. when
Yeah,
they-
the 2020 census.
Yes.
The
Now we know.
2020 census said basically that the increase in population
It did
was
say.
black, brown,
More
and-
Hispanic than anything. They were the ones.
especially in Texas.
In Texas, exactly.
And so the reason why you have what is going on, even in terms of voting rights and voter participation in Texas, and the draconian voting legislation that was just passed is because the population of Texas is increasingly becoming black and brown.
When you say that legislature decoding and legislating that just passed, what are you referring to?
Well, when I said the draconian voting bill is all of the restrictions that they have placed on people getting access to the vote in terms of all kinds of ID that you must present before you can vote. And that in and of itself,
before.
No, but it's more draconian now.
Really?
Oh yeah. See, like certain pieces of ID are not, permissible
So
or
now you're going to have to
acceptable.
have, instead of one, you're going to have 3 or 4 or
Yeah.
whatever.
And like if you're a college student, your student ID
It's not going to serve well
is
enough
not
for you to vote.
But there you go.
That's a shame.
Or other pieces of ID. Say
Like
if
your
you're
Social
getting
Security card,
well, and even if you're on
a license,
say
driver's
if
license.
you're getting some kind of governmental assistance, and you have an ID for that, because they're saying, okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that you. But if you got a gun license,
You can vote.
you can vote. Yeah.
You can vote. You got a gun
Yeah,
license.
gun license,
I'm gonna
and
get me a
all
gun
that kind of
license
stuff.
where I can vote.
That's
Because
acceptable.
I might walk up there and I'm
That's
born in
acceptable for you to
America, and
vote.
you ain't gonna
Yeah.
tell me I can't vote.
There you go.
That's where that civil rights came in. And what we were talking about.
It's all about the increase in population because Texas is one of the few states that is on its way to becoming a minority state, especially with Hispanics. And right in the city of Houston, you see it right here. In the city of Houston, the population is primarily, Hispanic and black. When not too long ago, the medical center did a study, and they said that almost 70% of the children from birth to 4 years of age was black and brown in the city of Houston. The medical center data says
That says that. So that means that we want to educate our children as much as we possibly can.
So what that really means in terms of politics and voting and government is that if from birth to 4 years old, the majority population overwhelmingly is black or brown or non-white, in 15 or 16 years,
There'll be voting age.
there'll be a voting age.
Yes, they will. And that does not mean they're going to vote. That's why they need to be educated to vote. However, if they set this thing to the point that you have to prove that you're a citizen.
And because of the way the politics is going and what is happening in terms of public policy, they're assuming that they're going to vote Democrat and not Republican.
Yes.
Because currently, the way the politics is going is that Republican public policies tend to be oriented toward white privilege and supporting white privilege.
Now, how is that going to happen if everybody's supposed to have an ID? So that means if you're at a Republican poll, they're not going to ask you for your ID.
Oh, well, you know that. Because it's all about geographical area.
Yeah, but that deal
See, if you're white
still
and
wrong.
you live in River Oaks, ain't nobody going to ask you for no
ID.
ID.
And so
if you show up with a voter registration card.
Democrats need to have somebody at the poll like they have in our sections of town. In the Democrats need to have somebody at the poll like they have Republicans at the other polls, so that we vote in and stand and look and watch.
Well, what we need to have is to have a respect for democracy.
Well,
and a
that's not
respect
going to work because
for the
they
idea.
have the white people food. They have the, and I don't want to say poor white people. I'm just going to say white people food. But most of the time, it's the ones that don't really have the education that they should have, and the privilege that they do have, they don't take advantage of it. They only want to get what they want at the time because of their color of their skin, and that's wrong.
What we
That's
need to
that's what
have,
they need to stop doing.
what we need to have is a revival of the human spirit,
Yes, Lord.
so that people in these Christian right evangelical churches come to know that God is no respecter
Of persons.
and skin color.
And you saying that these
Because-
guys that believe in Christ, that are evangelicals, are not really God's children the way they ought to be.
Well,
They don't show. They're not showing the love the way they should.
Let's put it this way:
And
they-
they hide behind the curtains.
they act like they're children of Cain,
Mm-hmm.
rather than God's children or children of Abel. Now you know, if you're a child of Cain, we know what you believe in.
Yourself. That's what you believe
No,
in.
killing.
Killing. You believe in yourself because you beyond the understanding of
killed his
God.
brother.
Yeah.
So now we know what defines racial identity. What is racial identity? Because
Tell
we
us.
know that God said He created all nations out of what? One blood.
One blood. One blood. We
So-
can't deny that. That's for sure.
Now that's written.
That he
So-
said it and it's done. It has
so-
been done.
It's not about skin tone.
Mm-mm.
It's not about that.
No.
Because with God, it's about sin.
That's what it's all about.
It ain't about no skin. And what these people keep trying to make it about,
Your skin.
skin, and in the process, they dealing with sin.
Exactly right.
So God is no respecter of that. God doesn't
No,
have anything
he's
to do
not.
with about what color somebody is. He's not even thinking about that.
No.
God is thinking about your heart, the heart of your mind, in terms of your thinking
And how you gonna treat your fellow
and how you,
Man.
you know.
or your brother or your sister, whether we like it or not, we all in this same boat together.
Because
Love,
He's already told
Because
you
he already told us that we're in the
what
same
he
boat.
what He requires of you.
Yeah, that too. But we got to remember that we're all in the same boat together.
Yeah.
And when it comes before God, we're gonna have to act as if we all in the same boat together, whether we like it or not.
Or
He's
we
gonna
gonna drown.
judge us all according to what we did and how we did it.
In the flesh.
In the flesh. Exactly right. And so the new time is that our time is over.
Yeah.
But we want to tell you all that
But
God
we'll
loves
be back next week.
We'll be back next week. God loves you. We love you too. And remember, keep your paper in your car or in your hand. Don't throw it in the land, because we want to keep Houston clean and looking good. Love you. God loves you too. Bye-bye.